We are excited. Special little, I know this is usually a Wildy and Tausch thing. They call it Digi only. Little shot here for our YouTube page for ESPN Milwaukee because something very special happened today. Both Steven and I got out on the old course. We've been posting about it a little bit on social media, but just kind of give you behind the scenes here of how it all worked out. So we both had applied for the singles ballot. So there's a couple different ways we talked about on the show on Tuesday to get out. Like year in advance, you can put in to try to get tee times on the ballot, or you can do the 48-hour ballot, which we've been doing, trying to get out together. That hasn't worked out for us, Steven. Or you can do the singles ballot. And there's a select number of singles that get selected, and then there's a wait list.
Yeah.
I was number 4 on the wait list last night. So I got a separate email saying, hey, you're high up on the wait list, show up at 7:30, and we'll see what happens. What number were you?
I was number 12.
Okay.
Which kind of felt like I was right on the edge. I didn't love my odds. I was planning to go play the Castle course today. But then, Gabe Neitzel, in the first hour, things happened quickly.
Things did happen quickly. So the way the first hour was local play, because they obviously have members here, but they also have people coming from all over the world to play the old course. So that, from my understanding, after being there at 7:30 this morning, they said, hey, it's up to the locals if they want to take somebody out. We've got a lot of openings, but it's up to them. We don't know. We truly don't know. It's up to them. So, like, for example, for whatever, club that they have here, there was a match that 2 guys were playing. So they just went off as a 2-ball right away at 8 o'clock because they were going to cruise. They didn't want somebody like me or Steven slowing them down.
You weren't ready for the Americans to come in.
They didn't want that. So literally the first guy who got off today found out 4 minutes before his tee time. Like, hey, you're going. Sweet. And then it kind of started finding a rhythm. I got to go off as number 4 at 8:50 this morning, which was fantastic. We'll share some of the video from that. Steven, you came, got my first tee shot video, and at that time you swung by and you brought the sticks because the number had started to dwindle.
I was really anticipating, like, all right, let's go get as much video of Gabe as possible. And then with how quick you were telling me the numbers were dropping, as I was leaving my hotel room, I was like, I think I should probably bring my clubs.
Yeah.
And put on my polo.
Well, and
that I was prepared to wear only if I played the old course.
And we were in a bit of disarray after yesterday because it rained so hard.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, we brought our clubs back to the room, like had to take your clubs out, you're cleaning them, you're drying them off the best you can, just kind of leaving them out in the hotel room. So it's not like your bag was together.
No.
So you're in disarray trying to quickly grab and get everything together.
Yeah, it was mayhem. And when you said 8:50, at that point it was like 8:30. I was like, all right, I need to get out of here. I need to, so I threw the hoodie on.
I was a fortunate one. I got about a 20-minute notice before my tee time.
Yeah, and you were already, you weren't leaving the hut at that point.
Yeah.
Right. So for me, I was like, all right, I might be here for the day. And when you're there, you're just truly. It's not just what number you are on the wait list. It's what number you are inside the shack as well. So I was number 5 on the wait list, but I was number 2 that was there present, and that was how I got on. Truly was because the numbers in front of me decided not to come. And so I'm glad that I was prepared. But, before we get into mine, let's talk about Gabe Neitzel's opening tee shot. This was a moment, I feel like, of growth for you.
Okay.
The driver yesterday on Jubilee was not the best club in your bag.
It was bad. Straight up bad.
And there is no more intimidating tee shot in the game of golf than number 1 at the old course.
So it was a little more breezy this morning than I was anticipating.
True.
Because when we looked at you can see behind us, it was the best day. It was 60 degrees today at St. Andrews.
Yeah, this is no Zoom background. You're looking behind us. That is St. Andrews right behind us. That is the 18th going up St. Andrews. We're here at the Old Course Hotel, Kohler owned, and this is 17 behind us, and then 18's off in the distance, and the green is right in front of that red building behind you.
So it was a little more breezy than we thought, so I thought, a little into us, you can get away with driver, because a lot of times on that hole, you're not hitting driver, you're probably going to hit a little less than, but a little into the wind, you can get away with driver, and that's what I did. I decided I'm going to hit driver, because there's no range, you're not warming up, so having something a little bigger, even though I didn't hit it well yesterday, was kind of comforting to me.
Yeah, and I wanted it for him. I was so excited to see him grab the driver, but I was a little surprised just because I knew how it was flying on you yesterday. And while it is a huge wide open fairway, your miss yesterday was hooks right.
Yep, 150
and that's where,
yards.
And that's where the OB is.
So,
and what did you do, Gabe?
Piped it.
Piped it down the heart of the fairway. Like, the gentle claps from the crowd behind him. That was so fun to see you just rip driver.
So that had a little draw on it. I might be a drawer of the golf ball with the driver now because I just played that all day. Like it just started, the ball just started drawing. And I'm like, you know what?
You try to play the cut, yeah.
Well, if it cuts, so this on the golf course, if you ever play the old course, if you're ever fortunate enough, usually you have the world to the left. Like when you're going out, when you're coming back in, like the heart where you can miss is usually left. It's not typically right. So I was just aiming left, and if it drew back, it drew back. And a lot of times today, for whatever reason, it drew back. Hit some really good drives today. I played with three locals, two guys who are caddies currently, one of which is going to be going to Florida to continue caddying. That's what he does, caddies in Florida in the winter. Then he's back here during the summer months. And then the father of one of the caddies, who apparently is the former director of operations for St. Andrews. So
Gabe, yeah.
Yeah, I played with
if we get on again,
Yeah. Well, so because I had requested a caddy, and when I checked in, they said, "Hey, do you want a caddy?" I'm like, "Yeah, if there's one available." "Yep, we'll get one for you." Well, no caddy ever showed up. So I was very fortunate that I played with two caddies who were also playing the back tees with me, so they could give me lines every once in a while. One would check in with me, "Hey, what do you got here on the putt?" So it was very fortunate with the playing group I got to play with. And before you even teed off, I'd made an eagle. I ended up making an eagle on the lone par 5 on the front, and hit a drive, had 163 yards in, and hit a pitching wedge to 6 feet, and made the putt. Made a nice little 3.
Sure.
Yeah.
Just how most people
exactly how that hole was
That's
designed
what makes
to play.
links golf fun though. Is there's some true run out opportunities.
Oh yeah, you hit the fairway.
Yeah. Man. I don't even know where to begin. So
you showed up, you took some video.
Yeah.
You walked with me, and we didn't talk about what actually happened to me on the first hole.
I wasn't going to bring it up.
I dumped, tried to hit a shot I probably shouldn't have, got cute for whatever reason, and, took a little too much club, trying to hit a cute little pitch in there, and just completely gave up on it, dumped it in the burn.
Yeah.
Chipped up.
The burn
Yeah,
St. Andrews is famous.
Yeah, I mean, we just dumped it in there.
Just want to see all the sights.
Didn't hit a great shot after the drop, hit about 20 feet past, and then, casually made the putt for bogey.
Yeah, got that putt.
Yeah.
That was a great 5. An all-world 5, we've said on this program before. Gabe Neitzel with an all-world bogey save.
So you got to see that, but then you kind of had to hang back because you weren't sure when you were going to be able to go out.
Yeah, so you were, at that point, it's a little bit after 9 o'clock. I knew, they told me nobody would get out between 9 and 10 because the RNA had club matches. So the earliest tee time, they told me to come back at 10. At that point, I was so behind in the morning to get out to you, I forgot to eat. So I came back to the Old Course Hotel, ate quickly, then ran back, got there, around 10. They said, all right, tee sheet's pretty much full. So we're going to try and get you off somewhere in the 12 to 1 o'clock hour. And I was like, all right, great. I was like, do you mind if I just go walk around? I'll stay close and, make sure you take my number and I will be here in a minute if you need me. And had to go check out some merch. Still haven't bought anything yet.
So I don't think you can really see it back there, but again, so 1 and 18 run adjacent to each other. It's 150 yards wide, the two holes together. So, and it's all fairway. On one side is the old course clubhouse, that's where you check in, and on the other side on 18, that's where the merchandise store is. So it's very, again, 150 yards away. So that's where you decided to go spend some time, do some, advanced scouting.
Scouting, yeah, check out every brand. I went high and low in there, and in about 10 to 15 minutes, all of a sudden my phone starts ringing. And at this point, because I hung out for a little while, it was about, 11 o'clock, and my phone starts ringing, and the guy goes, how quickly can you get here? And I was like, I'm across the street. He's like, you should probably come in. I think I might be able to get you off sooner than you think. So I walked back over. There wasn't the urgency of you could be on the tee.
Yeah.
So what happened was that Twosome decided not to show up.
I can't believe that.
A Twosome on this day behind us at the Old Course.
60 degrees in October in Scotland.
Decided not to show up, and they say there's always at least one person or a Twosome who's guaranteed to no show. mind-blowing to us. But so I walk over there, and I get there at 11:01, and just kind of hang. He's like, yeah, just hang out here. At 11:07, the guy, shout out to Luke, who works in the St. Andrews Pro Shop right over there. He goes, I think we need to make the call. And he looks at his buddy. He goes, they're out. You're in. Go to the tee box. You're on the tee. And I haven't hit a putt. I haven't stretched. I haven't even swung a club. All of a sudden, my hands, just before I even grab a club, we're like, holy heck.
So you've got a caddy.
My caddy met me halfway through the first hole because it took him a minute.
That quick.
Yeah, it was truly 11:07. They say get out on the tee. 11:08, I'm handshaking who I'm playing with. At 11:09, I'm hitting my first tee shot for an 11:10 group off.
And like I did, you played all the way back, which I mean, here it's only 6,600 yards.
Yeah, I when I looked at the numbers, I said, let's do this. Let's do it the right way. I'm not usually one who needs to play that long. Like I don't hit it nearly as far as you do, so I always try to keep it pretty fair for myself. Like I don't need to torture myself out there because I'm not super long. But it felt like on this type of weather day, wind wasn't going to blow too much. I wanted to tip it out, and my whole plan coming into the old course was to hit a 2-iron off the first tee. And I don't know why. I watched you hit driver, and the wind was still kind of going in my face. I was like, let's hit driver.
Well, especially if you're going to the first tee. You're not loose.
Yeah.
Sounds like something else we did earlier this year.
Sure.
Where you decided, I'm going to hit 2-iron.
Yeah.
And there you blew it way right when we did our caddy video earlier this year. So you decided to hit driver.
Yep.
You saw me hit driver, you're like, okay, I got plenty of space. I can just hit driver.
Yep. And on this trip, driver yips have somewhat entered the chat into my head.
Yep.
I've been blocking the ball right, just not finishing my swing. I know what I'm doing wrong. I can't fix it. It's in my head. If you've ever had yips in golf or any sport, it's not fun. You can't stop thinking about it. You just got to try and keep commit. That's what I keep telling myself in every tee box. So anyway, it's truly a whirlwind. Like I'm overwhelmed. Like I think my skin was getting red. I was like so heated because the excitement, the energy, the nervousness was all like flowing through my blood. I take driver, and what do? I block it right, and I hit it well. And it was just kind of the wind at that point started blowing left to right too. So it's like ball got up into the air and then it just kept drifting. And I was like, I should be fine. And then I was like, it's still drifting and it's OB on the right. It hits, skids, hits off of the white out of bounds post and kicks me just left.
Yes.
And I was like, the golf gods are smiling down on me. And I was off and running from there.
You didn't dump it in the burn after, did you?
I did not.
Okay, good.
I did make a 5 on one as well. Hit it just short and 3-putted, which was a common theme for your boy today. But it was, what an incredible golf course and experience. And it truly took me a few holes to just like get my hands settled because I was just so overwhelmed with excitement.
The opening tee shot, 17, 18 are like the 3 holes here that are, that everybody can't wait to play.
Yeah.
You ended up making par coming in.
Yeah.
What was your initial
It's nice of you to
thought?
not talk about the rest of the back 9.
Yeah, well, I mean, but again, we can talk about that more. I just, we don't need to go shot by shot through our entire rounds.
Yes.
But the old course, and I mentioned this on Tuesday, Carnoustie is still my favorite golf course out here. But the experience of the old course can only happen in one place. And that's the property that's, I guess over a little stone fence that you can just easily jump over from the hotel that we're currently staying at. We waited so long. We wanted this to happen. We were able to get out.
Yeah.
How did that feel, being able to get out, and then as you finished up, making your par putt on 18, like being able to play literally the oldest golf course in the world?
You asked me directly after, and I almost started crying. That's truly how it feels. It's something you've seen on TV. It's something you've played in simulators. You've visualized yourself hitting the tee shot on 17 over the old course hotel and which letter you need to pick and what line you need to hit. And Didn't make my best swing on that either, but stayed in play, and I couldn't envision it. 17 was harder than I thought it would be.
Well, pin was also all the way back left.
Yeah.
Unless you blew it left like me, it becomes a very difficult shot.
I kind of hit a poor drive, but I was still 210 yards in on my second shot, and hit like a great 4-iron up to the front, and then had the lag of my life. I will never have a better lag putt.
Video coming soon. We've got the video.
Of that on 17, and to make par there was awesome. And then like shout out to Jason Coughlin and Glenn Turk and his wife for, kind of, and obviously Gabe too. Like it was so cool, Gabe, to have you walk the final few holes with me, because I know like this is the type of person Gabe Neitzel is. He wanted to give me his spot on the waiting list last night because you had played it and you just wanted me to experience it. And I was like, dude, like go enjoy it for yourself. And that just speaks to who this guy is. But then, he picked me up, and we had fun on the final few holes and walked home, and Jason and Glenn and, like the group was behind me. And that was like truly what makes this place so special, is like, it's not about you. And
well, it's all those things we talk about. We've talked about men's professional golf and just how crappy that whole situation is.
Yeah.
But when we talk about the things that we truly love about the game and the family and the emotions and everything that goes into it, it's not necessarily a game. That's what it means to me. Like that's what I think about when I'm walking up 18. Like all the different things that have gotten me to that point.
Yeah.
And because it's literally the oldest golf course in the world. And you don't get to just make a tee time. Again, I could just walk out there. I did.
Yeah.
I did to walk in with you, which is, again, still surreal and cool that they
Like,
just like have no problem
so like
with.
a guy walking his dog right now, kind of up number 2.
Yeah, but it's, it's weird and quirky, and yet it's so difficult and tough to get out there.
Yeah.
So I'm just so glad that you got to experience it, because it's literally hard to put into words what it's like when you're out there, just because of what this place has meant to the game of golf.
Yeah, and it's also, I'm glad we both got in this way. It would have been fun to have the automatic entry on the ballot 2 days in advance, but for both of us to kind of have the excitement, anticipation of waiting and watching that number drop, and I'm sure the rush that you felt at 8:30 this morning when they said you're going out there today, and the feeling that like overwhelmed my body when he said go to the tee box, like you're on the tee. I can't remember that feeling very often. Definitely not in the game of golf that I've experienced. Maybe 1 or 2 times with my parents, some of the special rounds we've had together. But and then to come on 18T after making par on 17, as lost as I felt with my driver, and to hit the best drive I've hit on this golf
We had
trip.
to bully you. You mentioned all the people that were supporting you. We literally bullied you into
I was
hitting
afraid
driver.
to hit driver on 18 because all I could think about was like, there's a crowd, I've got the yips, and I do not.
There's cars to the right.
I don't want to hit a car, and I don't want to be the guy that goes OB on 18. And it goes back to what I just said. It ain't about me, right? And like you guys gave me the confidence, and I said to myself, like, go have fun, man. Just swing your swing. And truly the best drive I've hit on this trip. I hit it exactly where I was trying to, and made another up and down par on 18. And the special thing about 18 too is like, as much as I wanted that to just like finish the right way, like there's a crowd of like 50 people just watching people finish and clapping. And
because it's literally, and I told Steven this after, where in the group that I had played, there was a guy who hit it very similar spot that Steven did, and caught his wedge a little thin, and it went over the green. And there's a road there. It's off the road, off the building, back onto the green.
So
like, that's how tight it is. There's just like a little road there that people gather around. Like, oh, let's see what people are doing coming up 18 right now.
Yeah, because that's what this town is all about. Like, this property behind us is what defines St. Andrews. And it's just so cool to feel that sense of community on the green as you're finishing. And, we're never going to be professional golfers.
Nope.
So to watch a ball go in the cup and have an audience clapping for you of complete strangers is a pretty cool feeling. And yeah, man, it's to walk off and just look back down the first fairway after coming off 18 and just reflect on what that 4.5 hour walk was like. I don't think I could have gone that place in my dreams. Like, truly, that was how special that was.
I hope someday everybody gets that opportunity. If you love the game of golf, I understand it's tough to get over here. We're playing with some older guys that are in their 60s and 70s that they're finally fulfilling that dream. And I hope that they, in the next couple of days they get to go out and play the old course and experience it the way we did. Because golf over here, again, it's different. And we talked about the community aspect that a lot of these golf courses have, and the old course is the epitome of that. I'm glad you got out today. I'm so excited for you. Let's go get a pint, buddy.
We earned it.
We'll be back. Season finale on the tee coming up on Tuesday night.